Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. As y'all coming in, shout yourselves out in the comment section. Tell me names, locations, names, locations. We're getting started in 30 seconds. Hope everybody's having a good day, good week. Y'all see the topic. We'll be starting in 30 seconds. Turn your volume up. Quiet down the dog and kids. 30 seconds. We're going to get into the material we need to get into here today. That is going to help you go to the next level. And if you want to go to the next level or whatever your next level happens to be, this is the place that you're going to get the game that you need. And really, the focus here really is to get you in the right frame of mind so you can take the actions that you need to take in doing what you need to do. So, what we're going to talk about here today is why you need to be coached. Everybody needs to be coached. And it doesn't matter, it does matter who you get coached by, but you need to be coached, period. Everybody needs to be coached. I'm going to explain here today why everybody needs to be coached. Everybody who is serious about taking themselves to their highest possible level of performance, which leads to the highest possible level of results, which leads to the highest possible level of rewards. So if you, whatever rewards you want, if that is followers, love, likes, money, subscribers, happiness, personal satisfaction, whatever it is that you consider to be a great reward, today I'm going to tell you why getting coached by whoever you're getting coached by is the key to actually doing this. And your coach does not have to be me, doesn't have to be any particular individual, but I'm going to tell you why the aspect of getting coached, period, matters a lot. And I'm going to give you 4 specific reasons. So before we get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Dre Baldwin, former 9-year pro athlete, author of 33 books on 4 TEDxTalks. Create this whole brand called Work on Your Game. What we do here, we take the tools to help athletes get to the top 1% in sports. We translate those tools to the business world to help professionals perform at their highest level, do so consistently, and as a result, you get those rewards. You make more money in your business. So, the topic here today is why you need to be coached. I'm going to give you 4 specific reasons why every single person on the planet should be getting coached by somebody in any area in which you plan on succeeding at a very high level, as opposed to trying to do everything on your own and do everything by yourself. We're going to address some of the common excuses and common rationalizations that people have around that as well. So let's get into it. Point number 1, each one of you listening to me right now, you are the least qualified person on the planet to help yourself get you where you want to go. You're the least qualified person to do it. Now, of course, you have to take the actions. You got to do the work. You got to do the execution. You got to make the phone calls. You got to write the emails. You got to do the executions, whatever the things are. But as far as being able to know where you need to fix things, one of my early mentors in business, one of my first coaches said, she had this metaphor. She said, you can't see yourself in the mirror. She would say that all the time, Dre. You can't see yourself in the mirror. What does that mean? This is the reason why hairdressers and barbers don't do their own hair, because there are certain angles that you can't see in yourself that other people can easily see in you. There are certain things that we are just blind to. We're personally blind to in ourselves because we're trying to assess ourselves, but it's very easy for us to see things in other people. How many of you ever had the situation where you had this experience where you're talking to a friend or a family member or something like that, and they're telling you about a problem that they have, and you listen to them share their problem, and you easily, very quickly assess what they need to do to fix the problem. You're like, oh, that's easy. All you got to do is this, this, and this, and they're like, damn, actually, that is pretty good advice. And then they go take it and they go do something with it, and then you're sitting there thinking to yourself like, damn, how is it so easy for me to assess what somebody else needs to do, but I can't figure out how to solve my own problems? Any of you ever had that situation where you easily could identify the problem that somebody else had and what they need to do to fix it, but you can't solve your own problems? You had the same problems for the last 8 years, and you ain't been able to figure it out, even though you could easily solve somebody else's. This is what I mean here. This is what I mean when I say you can't see yourself in the mirror. It's hard for us to figure out our own situations, but it's very easy for us to see somebody else's situations. This is one of the reasons why, one of the main reasons why I say you are the least qualified person to solve your own problems. Now, you have to do the work, but you don't have to be the one who figures out what the strategy or the execution plan is going to be. That's where you can get someone else who has much better insight, and they can see things in you that you can't see in yourself. They can help you with that much more easily than you can help yourself. Moving on to point number 2. We're talking here today about why you need to be coached. Number 2, emotional connection. You are emotionally connected to every single thing that happens to you, with you, and in your life. Everything that happens in your life, everything that's going on in your mind, every action that you take, you are emotionally connected to that. I'll address questions at the end. So anybody leave a comment, I'll address at the end. You are emotionally connected to it. And because of this emotional connection, those emotions stop you from taking logical, rational action when it needs to be taken. See, when it comes to coaching, sometimes as a coach, I'm a person who works as a coach. I run masterminds. I have coaching programs. I've been doing coaching for a good amount of time now. One of the things that coaches must be able to do is look at a situation dispassionately. That means with emotion removed from the equation, and say, okay, this is the situation. This is where we're at. This is what needs to happen. And here are the reasons why it needs to happen. It's hard for any of us to do that with ourselves because we are emotionally connected to ourselves and our situations. Every single thing we deal with, we see it, we know about it, we know all the intricate details, and our emotions are tied to it because human beings are emotional creatures. But it's much easier for us to look at somebody else's situation very dispassionately and remove the emotion from the equation simply because, got a pause connection here, because we don't have to live with the situation as it is, whereas that person does have to live with it. So it's much easier for us to remove the emotion from the equation, look at things logically and rationally and just clearly and in black and white, and that's where we get the insights from. You put too much emotion in the situation, it clouds your judgment. Emotion clouds judgment. I'm not saying that emotion isn't useful or that you should not have emotion. That's impossible for a human being. But when you need to make a logical, rational decision and you need a logical, rational thought process, you need emotion completely out of the equation. It's impossible for any human to do that with themselves. But it's very easy for somebody else to do it with you because, again, they're not you. And again, they don't have the emotional ties to your situation that you have to your situation. Moving on to point number 3. We're talking here today why you need to be coached. Number 3, you need your ass kicked. I did a whole episode of my podcast where I talked about this. You need your ass kicked. What does it mean when I say you need your ass kicked? What it means is you need someone who will push you to do things and think things that you would never push yourself to do or think. So if you are, what's an example? If you want to start a podcast, right? Let's say somebody says they want to start a podcast and they say, all right, I'm going to launch my podcast in 90 days. 90 days from now, my podcast is going to come out. A good coach is going to look at that and say, why the hell would it take you 90 days to put out a podcast? Listen, your podcast is coming out next Monday. Your podcast is coming out in a week, not 90 days. You got 7 days to get this podcast out. You don't need 90 days to put it out. And the person who's hearing that is like, damn, 7 days. Well, I got to put it out in 7 days. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now I got to scramble. Now I got to start recording. Now I got to get all my artwork together. Now I got to figure out what the topics are. I got to, get my podcast up on the feed and all these things. And they start, they're like, they go a little bit, they get a little bit, what's the word? A little bit of anxiety and stress, right? Because pressure has been put on them. This is exactly what a good coach is going to do. See, a good coach is going to move you to do things that you would not do, and move you to do things that you want to do, but move you to get them done a whole lot faster and a whole lot sooner and a lot more efficiently and effectively than you would ever move yourself to do them. I talk to people all the time who tell me about something that they're doing or working on or launching or planning. And I'm asking them, okay, well, when is this thing going to be done? When are you putting this out? When is this thing going to start? And the timelines that people give themselves are like ridiculously long, as if you have unlimited time to get to stuff. And I'm like, why is it going to take you that long to launch a podcast? Why is it going to take you that long for your course to come out? Why do we need, I was talking to someone not too long ago, and I was saying, all right, how soon do you want this thing to come out? And they were saying, well, I want it to come out at the beginning of 2024. And for those of you watching this on replay, I'm recording this in early October, or I guess we could say mid-October, 2023. I'm like, why the hell do you need 2.5 months for this to come out? This should be coming out like next week. All right, why do you need all this time? And this is what human beings do. And this is a very important point because we all got to understand as human beings, we're all on the clock. Everybody know what I mean when I say on the clock? It means that one day you're going to die. That's what it means. All right. One day you are going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. Your grandma's going to die. Your parents are going to die. Your kids are going to die. All your friends are going to die. One day, everybody who's alive today will be dead. All of us. Which means knowing that we have a limited amount of time to get to stuff. What's going on, Clay and Noah? Knowing that we have a limited amount of time to get to stuff, we need to act with a sense of urgency and we need to move with speed. We need to do things now and we need to do things fast. So these long timelines that many people give themselves to get things done, I want to get in shape, but I'm going to give myself 6 months. Why do you need 6 months to get in shape? You should be going to the gym like right now, twice a day, and you can be in shape in 6 weeks. But why do you need 6 months? And the only reason that people give themselves these long timelines is simply because they're not aware that they can do things faster. And they have no one pushing them to do things faster. In the book Relentless by Tim Grover, who was, many of you know him, he was Michael Jordan's trainer, Kobe's trainer, Dwayne Wade's trainer. He says is a segment in the book where he talks about how when he's training somebody, he looks at them in the session and he says, you know what, I could push this a little bit further and they can get double the results in half the time. And the whole point of me bringing that up is to say this: when you are being pushed by another person and getting your ass kicked by another person who is moving you to do stuff that you would never make yourself do, you get a lot more results in a much shorter period of time. Why is that important? Because one day you're going to die, and the sooner you achieve results, if you can get to them now rather than 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years from now, then you give yourself more time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The challenge for many people is they move so slowly. Again, you give yourself so much time to get things done that by the time you finally get it done, you ain't gonna have no time to enjoy it. You ain't gonna have no time to enjoy your success. Some people want to make a lot more money. All right, by the time you make the money at your current pace, you're not gonna have enough time to enjoy the money. You're gonna be so decrepit, you ain't gonna be able to go to the bathroom by yourself. Only thing you're gonna be able to do with the money is pay a home health aide to help you go to the bathroom and change your diapers. All right, because that's how slowly you're moving right now. And I'm being sarcastic here, but I want y'all to understand the point that I'm making is that many of you are moving too damn slow. This is what a coach helps you do. They look at your situation and say, okay, all right, that shouldn't take a week. That should take a day. All right, that shouldn't take a month. That should take like 3 days. Instead of all this time, we give ourselves time as if our time is unlimited. Your time is not unlimited, folks. This is why coaching matters so much, because a good coach, as far as I'm concerned, a good coach is going to push you to take what you thought was going to take a month, and they're going to say, we're going to do that in a week. They're going to take what you said is going to take a year, and they're going to say, no, we're doing that in 90 days. They're going to take what you said is going to take a day, and they say, no, we're going to do that in the next hour. We're doing it right now. I remember I was reading a book. All y'all know who David Goggins is, right? So David Goggins, this is before he was known. There was a book by this guy named Jesse Itzler, and he wrote a book called Living with the SEAL. And the SEAL was, he saw some Navy SEAL running in this ultra marathon, and he was mesmerized by this guy. So he went and found out who the guy was. He called the Navy SEAL and he said, hey, can you come to my condo in Manhattan and live with me for like 90 days? Because this guy, Jesse Itzler, he was trying to run like ultra marathons too. So he wanted to run the same race that he had seen this dude running. And because he went there to cheer on one of his friends, and he saw this guy who ended up being David Goggins. So he finds David Goggins, calls him and says, can you come live with me in New York? He writes a whole book about it. The book was called Living with a SEAL. Now, in the book, he never actually said David's name. He just called him a SEAL. He just called him SEAL the whole book. And then when the book came out, people liked the book so much, they were like, well, who was this Navy SEAL? Who's this guy? Turns out it was David Goggins, and this is essentially how David Goggins' name blew up. And then he went to start writing his own books, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, in the book, there's this story in the book when the SEAL, Goggins, first comes to Manhattan, and he comes to Jesse Itzler's condo, and he's like, all right, Jesse, because Jesse's like, all right, he just got there. He just got there that day. So Jesse's figuring, all right, we can just chill, have dinner, get to know each other, and then tomorrow we can start working out. And David Goggins said to Jesse, is there a gym in your building? And Jesse was like, yeah, there's a gym downstairs. And David was like, all right, let's go to the gym. And Jesse's like, what's going on here? So they go to the gym, right? And they get to the gym, and y'all should read this book. It's called Living with a SEAL by Jesse Itzler. And they get to the gym, and David Goggins is like, how many pull-ups can you do? They go to the pull-up bar, and he says, show me how many pull-ups you can do. Just do as many as you can without stopping, right? So Jesse gets on the pull-up bar. He starts doing pull-ups. He does like 15 pull-ups, right? And then he stops because he can't do any more pull-ups. And the SEAL, David Goggins, says to him, all right, you did 15. He said, look, we're not leaving the gym until you do 1,000. Like that day, on the spot. He said, you just did 15 pull-ups. That's the most you can do. He said, we're not leaving the gym until you do 1,000. This is what a coach does. Now, I'm not saying your coach is going to make you do 1,000 pull-ups. The whole point is, when you have a good coach around you, they are going to push you to do stuff that you would never push yourself to do. You wouldn't even think about doing, let alone push yourself to do. They will push you to do stuff you would never even, you wouldn't even consider. See, a good coach is not only going to take all the stuff that you want to do and help you do it and help you do it faster. They're going to take all the stuff that you didn't even know you needed to do, and they're going to make you do that. And they're going to make you do it much faster than you would ever have made yourself do it. And this is how you achieve double the results in half the time. Everybody understand this? So any of you who is serious about achieving more results in your life and you want to get to them faster, this is another reason why you need a coach. And I'll give you a bunch of examples of this, but I'm just giving you a few of them. I was talking to a client of mine the other day, whose name I'm not going to say, but they know who they are if they happen to see this. and they were telling me how they're working on this website, and this website, I got a pause connection. So they're talking about this website thing that they're working on. I'll leave it at that, not give too many details. And they got somebody doing the website work for them, and they gave them all the material a month ago, and they're waiting for this person to get things done. And I sent them a message yesterday and said, why the hell is this taking a month? This should not be taking a month. I said, if you would have come to me to help you get the website done, we would have had the website done in 3 days. 72 hours it had been done. But you went to this other entity and let them do it for you, and it's been 4 weeks, and you still don't have the website done. And this is not okay. This is not acceptable. This is not okay. And I can't take responsibility for it because they made the decision that they wanted to make. But the whole point is, I told them directly, this is taking too long. This is too slow. And fact of the matter is, because they're a client of mine, I will not have it on my track record that they're taking this long to get a result done. That's why I'm starting to push them. Like, all right, whoever you got working on that, all right, they either need to get some firemen under their ass or you need to fire them, one or the other. But we can't have things happening this slowly. All right, this is not okay. So when I say kick your own ass, you are incapable of doing this to yourself. You are not capable of kicking your own ass the way somebody else would kick your ass. Any of you who's ever had a personal trainer in the gym, you all understand that a personal trainer in the gym is going to make you do more repetitions than you would make yourself do. They're going to give you a shorter break in between sets than you would give yourself. They're going to make you do stuff that you just never would make yourself do. And this is the reason why you need another person around you who will push you to a higher level. Let me move on to my fourth point. Fourth one, we're talking here today about why you need to be coached. Number 4, when I say getting coached, let me be clear. I do mean someone who you pay, you hire them to actually help you get to a higher level. You are financially invested in your coach. Now, why does the financial investment aspect matter? I'm going to tell you why. Because when you pay attention. Simple as that. When you pay attention. One of the biggest, what's the word I want to give? There's a word that's escaping me right now. But one of the worst things that we do as creators out here these days, I'm gonna be honest, and all of us do it. 100% of us are guilty of this. One of the worst things that we do for people these days in today's world is we put out content for free, like this right here. This is one of the worst things that we do for our audiences, to put out content for free. Yes, this is one of the worst things that I do, is put out content for free. I got a master class that comes out for free every day. I write articles for free every day. I do live streams damn near every day for free. I put reels up for free. I send text messages for free. I put a whole lot of material out for free every single day. And let me tell you why this is a bad thing that we do. I'm probably going to keep doing it, and all of us do it. I mean, name your favorite creator, content person out there. You probably found out about them because of the free content that they put out, right? Let me tell you why this is a bad thing that we do for y'all about putting material out for free. Some of y'all are content creators. You are guilty of this just as much as I am. You know why? Because when you give people stuff for free, they don't value it. That most of the time they do not apply it, and it doesn't light a fire under them. All it does is make them feel good, and it's like mental masturbation. They feel good because they took in the material, but they didn't actually do anything, and they don't change anything about their behavior based on free stuff that you put out. Nobody changes their behavior based on free content. Nobody. But I tell you what does change people's behavior. When you make them pay, and now they're invested, they'll do everything you said. I know this to be true. I've written books, I've done coaching, I've run masterminds, I've done consulting. I know this to be 100% true. Nobody changes their behavior based off of free material, but everybody changes their behavior when they're paying for it. I can take the same thing that I'm giving y'all right now and charge you for it. Y'all would apply this stuff, but now I'm giving it to you for free. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, you might enjoy it, you may appreciate it, but are you actually gonna do anything different? No. This is how it works. Because people simply do not value what they don't pay for. When you make somebody put their money on the table, they are now invested financially, which means they will be invested mentally, which means they will do what you tell them to do. They will pay attention in everything you say they will do. All the material that I put out for free, if you just went through everything I ever put out for free and just followed it, you would get some results. But when people pay me, I can give them 1% of what I put out for free, and they will get more results than the people who got all the stuff I put out for free. They got 100%. People who pay me get more results than the people who consume stuff for free. People who consume stuff for free, again, they can appreciate me, they can like me, they can follow me on social media, they can like all my posts and leave comments and all the stuff you can do on social media. But are you actually applying anything that you are doing? That's the question. Somebody sent me a message yesterday. Somebody I know personally. They sent me a message and said, "Hey, have you ever followed such and such person?" They named some social media person. I said, "I heard of the person, but I don't really follow their stuff." And they said, well, this person got all this free stuff that they put out. So you should go download all this free stuff that this person has available. So I went and they sent me the link to the website. So I went to the website. This person has person I'm not going to name. They got all this free stuff that they let you download for free. All you got to do is put in your email address. And I'm looking at it. There's a long page. There's a whole bunch of free stuff this person's giving out. There's actually a lot of good material if somebody would actually go through it and study it. And this person could literally sell this for $1,000 rather than give it away for free. And I remember looking through all the stuff on the page. And I went back to the person who sent me the message. And I asked them a very simple question. I said, all this stuff that you downloaded for free from this person, what did you implement? That was my question. What did you implement? All the stuff you got for free from this person, what did you actually do with it? And the response they sent back to me was like, the thing that they said to me, I was like, you didn't need to download nothing from that guy to get that. And I didn't say that to them. This is just what I'm thinking. And they might be watching. So whoever, they know who they are. If they are seeing this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The thing that they got was like that's it. All that stuff you downloaded from this person, that's what you got from it. You could have got that from Google. You didn't need to download anything. The whole point here is, folks, if you want people to pay attention, you got to charge them. That's how it works. If you want people to pay attention, you have to charge them. Now, here's a challenge. All you creators out there, all you intellectual property salespeople, is that there are more people who will consume your free stuff than there is the people who will consume your paid stuff, right? We all understand that, right? So if I put out something that's paid and 100 people see it, maybe 100% of people ain't going to buy it. All right, just out of the random population. Let's say 10% of people buy my thing. That's a great conversion rate. 10%, 90% of people ain't going to buy nothing, right? But they'll consume all the free stuff. Those 10% of people who buy will get more results than 90% of people who consumed all the free stuff. They will get more results in aggregate than the 90% of people who consume the free stuff. And those 10% of people are usually going to be the 10% who are doing more in general. They are getting more results. They are making more money. They are higher level individuals, and they pay more attention. And they are just more willing to listen to what I have to say simply because they showed you why by pulling their wallets out and putting their money on the table. This is just how it works. So any of you who's in the intellectual property space, don't be mad about this. Just accept the game as it is. That you don't need to have everybody in your audience. You need the people who are willing to put their money on the table. And when they put their money on the table, now you have their full attention. Now everything you tell them to do, they will do it. And if your stuff is actually good, they're going to get results. That's how it works. If your stuff is good, go find people who are willing to give you money for it. They will get results. They become your social proof. And then you leverage that social proof to get the next person, and the next person. That's how you run your business. Our business is not giving away free stuff to freeloaders. Again, this can get you attention. It can get you an audience. And some of the free people who are taking in your free stuff will eventually give you money at some point, somewhere along the line, maybe. Not all of them. Some of them will. But the whole point is people don't pay attention until they pay money. They haven't paid money, they ain't paying attention. They will not apply anything you say. It might have you thinking something's wrong with you because you're like, how I got all this stuff and I think it's good, but I'm giving it to these people and ain't nobody doing anything. Nobody's getting any results. Here's the reason why that's happening, because you're not charging them for it, or you're not charging them enough. Charge people enough money, they will do everything you say, and if your stuff is good, they will get results, period. If you don't charge them or you don't charge them enough, they won't pay attention. They won't be all the way bought in. They won't follow through. They won't implement, and then they won't get results. And then you're going to be looking in the mirror, questioning yourself, thinking something's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. There's just something wrong with your business model. Your business model is flawed. That's the reason why you are starting to question yourself, because you just haven't set yourself up for success. But again, let me be clear. In my university, Work on Your Game University, I help people with all of this stuff. So if any of you has any of these issues, I'm speaking your language right now. Just comment the word mastermind or send me a DM with the word mastermind, and I will help you out with this. And I will work with you directly on how we actually make this happen. I do group coaching. I offer one-on-one options as well. That's all in Work on Your Game University. So let me recap my points, and I'm going to answer questions. Anybody got a question or a comment on anything that I've said here so far? Put it in the comment section. I'm going to address it right now. Let me put my text number in here. So if any of you is not getting my text messages, I send them out every day called the Daily Motivations. Just text me at that number, 305-384-6894. Let me recap these points, and I'm going to take questions. So why you need to be coached? 4 reasons. Number 1, you are the least qualified person to help yourself. Why? Because you cannot see yourself in the mirror. So yes, you do need to do the work, but you can't see. You don't have the insight into what you actually need to do the work on. Challenge for many of us is that we're doing too much of the same work that got us to the position that we're in now. Most of the people I talk to say they want to be at a higher level than they are now. So the level that you're at now is a result of your consistent way of thinking. Your way of thinking is not going to get you 10 levels above where you are right now. You need a different way of thinking. Let me show you one of the books that I'm reading right now. I got this at the Funnel Hacking Live conference. 10x is easier than 2x. The way you get to 10x levels of thinking is you got to borrow the brains of other people. You cannot get to a 10x level of thinking by utilizing your own brain. Why? Because your brain got you to where you are. If your brain gets you to a 10x level, you'd already be there. Number two, emotional connection. You are too emotionally connected to yourself, which means you will not push yourself as hard as you need to push yourself, and you will not make the kind of decisions that need to be made because your emotions are getting in the way. Emotions cloud judgment. You need to get your emotions out of the way. And the only way you can get your emotions out of the way is to remove you from the decision-making equation. You got to get somebody else involved who is not you, who is not emotionally connected. Number three, kicking your own ass. You are incapable of kicking your own ass. All right, you are incapable. You need somebody else who will push you to do things you would never push yourself to do sooner, faster, harder, and better than you would ever do yourself. You will never push yourself to do what a personal trainer will make you do. You will not push yourself to do what your coach will make you do. You would not even think about some of the things that your coach would tell you to do because you don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you can't see. This is why you need other people around you. Number four, when people pay, they pay attention. If you want clients who are going to get results and they're going to actually produce outcomes from your business that make you look good because now you have social proof of successful people, guess what you must do? You must charge them money and you must charge them a fair value, a fair price for the value that they're getting. That means more than what you probably think. Many consultants and intellectual property salespeople severely underprice themselves because you undervalue yourself. When you undervalue yourself, first of all, what happens is you push away all the people who are looking for a high value offering. Like your thing is $100, they don't even want it. They want something. Got a pause connection there. That's the type of person that they are. There are people out there who won't buy your thing if it costs $100, but if it costs $1,000, they might look at it. It costs $10,000, now they're interested because of the value of it. And you need people who are willing to part with their money, and they have money to part with, who are going to be fully emotionally and mentally invested, and they will get financially invested. Those are the people that you're looking for. It does not need to be everybody. It's going to be a smaller percentage than your social media following. That's completely okay. Everybody on social media ain't going to be your customer because most people on social media ain't really trying to get anywhere. They just want to consume material. You want the people who really want to do the work, and it ain't everybody. And you got to be willing to charge as a way of finding these people. This guy named Rich Lipton, he wrote a book called The Prosperous Coach. If you haven't read it, you should look it up. And in the book, he says, and there's also a guy named Steve Shannon. They wrote the book together. But it says in the book, your prices are a filter for the clients who you want to coach. Keep that in mind. Your prices are a filter. All right, your prices are not about that's expensive or that's cheap. No, your prices are simply a filter. So you don't like the type of people who you're serving right now. All you gotta do is raise your prices. It'll filter those people out, and it'll bring in the right type of people in. So these are all the things you need to know about coaching. Period. Whether you are offering coaching or you are buying coaching, but everybody needs to have a coach for these reasons that I just laid out. That said, Belfort, what's going on? Good to see you. He said, know what you know now. If you didn't have relationships or success when it comes to making income online, how long would it take you starting from zero today? How long would it take me to do what? How long would it take? What's the outcome? If I was starting at zero today, how long would it take me to start making money? I would say it depends on how much money, but I can make a sale. I could probably make a sale within 72 hours if I was starting from zero today. Because I would get on social media or podcasting or YouTube or Instagram. I would get on one of these applications. I would focus on one of them and just come up with an offer and start selling it. I would do that within 72 hours. But I don't know how long would it take, what exactly you're referring to. Clay and Noah, good to see you here. Question is, what's the timeline you set for a book to be written? If I decide I'm going to write a book, if I was starting from scratch, I had no material and I was going to write a book, the whole writing, if I'm blocking off my calendar, I'm not doing anything else, I get the writing done for a book in, it wouldn't take me more than a week. I could do it faster than that. I could write a book in a day if I wanted to. Depending on what type of book I'm writing, I can write a book in a day. So some of these books that I have here, I wrote these books in a day. So let me show you. So let's see. Closure Camps, Decoded. So these 3 books right here. Overseas Basketball Secrets. I wrote this book in one day. All this book is about is the business side of professional basketball. I wrote this book in one day. Basketball Agents Decoded. This is just basically explaining to people everything they need to know about getting an agent to play professional basketball. I wrote this book in one day. The Truth About Overseas Basketball Exposure Camps. The title says it all. I wrote this book in one day. All three of these books I wrote in one day. Now, the caveat to that is these are information based books. It is just information that is already in my head, and I had the framework for how I wanted to write these books already laid out. So all I had to do was follow my own framework. That's part of the systems. So in Work on Your Game University, we focus on four things: mindset, strategy, systems, and accountability. So that system that I have for writing a book is why I can write a book in one day. It's not because I'm just this genius and the words just pop out of my head. Words do pop out of my head because I have a system. All I have to do is follow my own system, and it's actually pretty easy. So I can write a book in a day if I wanted to. If I'm writing a book that's maybe a little bit more in depth, maybe a week, but it shouldn't take me any longer than that. So again, speed is a key thing, a key element of achieving success, period. But over here, working your game, we do things with speed. We don't give ourselves time. We get things done, and we do things fast. Fast and now. Question is, the comment is, what I get from Dre's from books I purchased necessarily, although they're great books, I get from what Dre represents from a D3. D3 is college ball. Learn to monetize YouTube despite not being STU. I don't know what that means. But well, I'm glad you're getting value, whatever the rest of that comment was. I didn't see it. Let's see. Oh, stuck on a view count, everything moving forward. Me just wanting to be around the same energy since I'm not working as efficiently as it could be if I was working with someone that have done it already. Well, then you know where to go. Work on Your Game University. There it goes. We jump on the phone now and you tell me what to do and I have it done by Monday. All right. Then you need to go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. All right. Then you already know. What's going on, Devin Nails? Good to see you here. Josh says, most of us don't take free stuff content seriously as we should. What are some of the strategies we can put in place for it to work? Is one simple strategy. When you pay attention. This is just the way it works, Josh. Let me be clear. I consume free content too. Before I started this live stream, I was watching a video on YouTube. And I don't watch nonsense on YouTube. I watch videos on YouTube where people are like interviews and somebody's talking or somebody's kind of doing a video like I'm doing, but somebody else's content. And I watch it and I'm like, this is good stuff. This is valuable material. I like this person. I subscribe to their channel. But I don't go and apply or implement anything that person has said in the video. I just take in the material. All right, that's cool material, and I move on. The material that I actually implement is the stuff that I pay for, period. The material I implement is the stuff that I pay for. This is just the human animal. This is the way human beings work. So Josh, to answer your question, this point here that I said is it is metaphorical, but it applies literally. When we pay attention. This is just how human beings work. It's just human nature. We do not value the stuff we get for free because it's too much of it. Right? There's too much content on the internet for free. We don't value that. We value the stuff that we pay for, and we implement the stuff that we pay for because that financial investment makes us pay a lot more attention, and then we go and do the thing that we're told to do. And just to go a bit further, a bit more granular here, not everything that I know is put out there for free. Some of this stuff you got to come into a university to get. I mean, y'all understand that. There's a reason why we got paid stuff and we got free stuff. The purpose of the free stuff is to entice you to go into the paid stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm only speaking for myself. My free stuff is better than most people's paid stuff. Now, stuff that I put out for free is better than a lot of stuff that people charge for. I've seen a lot of stuff that people charge for. A good amount of this is garbage. But I ain't saying no names. I'll say my name. My stuff, the free stuff that I put out is better than most people's paid stuff. The purpose of the free stuff is to move you towards the paid stuff, understanding that not everybody is even of the mind to get into paid stuff. Many people ain't really trying to get better. They just want to consume information and look on social media, and they're happy with that. That's completely okay. Those are not my audience. My audience are the people who actually want to get better. That's why my thing is called Work on Your Game. That's why we have the university. That's why we got the mastermind. That's why we got all that stuff. So hopefully that answers your question there, Josh, is that it's not going to change just by you consuming free material. Right? You want to go to another level, you got to do what most people don't do. Earl Nightingale said this in Lead the Field. If you step into a space and you want to be better than most of the people in that space, look around at what most people do the opposite of that. What do most people do? Most people consume free stuff and they never invest in themselves. So if you want to be better than most people, then you have to do the opposite of that. You can consume the free stuff, but you got to invest in yourself. You got to put your money on the table for the advancement that you want to make. If you want to be great at a sport, you wouldn't just try to do it on your own, right? You wouldn't just watch YouTube and try to playing the NBA or become a boxer or an MMA fighter. What would you do? You go hire a trainer. But you will put money on the table. You will hire a coach who's going to help you get better at that thing. All right? In the physical realm, people understand that. But when it comes to business and making money and success is based on mindset and thinking, people seem to just ignore these simple truths. If you wanted to become a boxer, you never boxed before, would you just, if you want to become a boxer period, even if you did box before, would you not hire a personal trainer? If you wanted to be a bodybuilder, would you hire a trainer? If you wanted to play in the NBA, would you hire a trainer? All right, so if you're about to go fight, Jake Paul, would you hire a trainer? Of course you would. So the same thing applies to anything else. If you want to get to a higher level than where you are right now, business-wise, success-wise, financially, career-wise, then you need to hire a trainer the same way you would hire a trainer if you had to fight, if you were going to fight Mike Tyson in 3 weeks. You wouldn't just go to the gym and watch YouTube and try to figure it out. You get your damn head knocked off. All right, so it's the same thing in everything else in life. Question is, Belfer says, is not valuing something because you didn't pay a byproduct of not being mature enough? No, it's not. It's a good question, but it's a byproduct of being human. All right, I pay for stuff, and the stuff that I pay for, I pay more attention to the stuff I get for free. Why? Because we're human beings. It's just how it works. There's no way around this. I wish I could tell y'all there was some secret sauce to get around it. There isn't one. I just came from, I was at the ClickFunnels conference 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. The ticket was $1,000. All right, the hotel cost more than the ticket. Shit, the food. All right, I was there for a week. All right, the opportunity cost of being there for a week. That whole trip cost me like $5,000. But I guarantee you, I paid attention. I paid attention to the material I got at that conference. Why? Because I put my money on the table. All right, that's the whole point, folks. And it was 5,000 people there. So do the math on that, how much money they made off that event. But I guarantee you, the people who went to that event, a good amount of them paid attention. Excuse me. And they sold a bunch of people into their coaching programs and all of that stuff. And those people will pay attention. Why? Because they paid. When you pay money, you pay attention. All right, folks, there is no walking around this. If you want to get more ROI out of anything that you do in life, ROI simply means return on investment. You have to make investments. There are 5 forms of investment in life: time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Anything you want to be great at, you got to put in all 5. So I'll say those again: time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Anything you want to be great at, you got to put in all 5. You want to be great at making money, you got to put money in. All right, so now they say it takes money to make money. Doesn't mean you can't make money if you don't have money, but eventually you got to put money in. All right, this is the reason why any marketer you see out there who's known, like big name people, guess what? They all run advertisements. What is an advertisement? It is putting money in to get attention. That's what advertising is. That's all it is. Paying money to get attention. So they're using money to make more money. So you got to put the time in, you got to put the money in, you got to put the energy, the attention, and the focus in. You got to put all of these things in. You want to be great at anything. All right. Think of your favorite athlete, whatever sport that is. Did they put time in? Yes. They put money in? Yes. So they got trainers, right? Think about it. They all got trainers. So name your favorite athlete. I guarantee you can't name one who ain't got a trainer. Every single one of them got a trainer. There's one of those Paul boys is fighting this weekend, right? Jake Paul, Logan Paul. I don't even know which one. Doesn't even matter. Guess what? They both got trainers. They both fighters, right? They both got trainers, don't they? Okay. Your favorite basketball player, does Kevin Durant have a trainer? Or does LeBron have a trainer? All right, think about it. They all got trainers. Everybody you know who's great at what they do has a trainer or coach or trainers or coaches to help them play at the highest level. People who are trying to do it all by themselves doesn't mean you can't become good doing it all by yourself, but you will never be at the level of the people who have trainers and coaches because they are simply multiplying their results while you are only adding your results. Everybody here knows math, right? All right, so 1 plus 1 is 2, but 1 times 10 is 10. All right, so if one person is adding, another person is multiplying, who's going to get to the bigger number faster? Of course, the person who's multiplying. You multiply by using the brains and the insights of other people rather than only using the brains and insights of yourself. We are human beings. We are limited. There's only so many things that any one person can do. I don't care how good you are. Everybody needs outside help. Michael Jordan was one of the greatest players of all time, just on skill and talent, but he had a trainer. All right, Tim Grover was a trainer. Tim Grover's famous based off basically 2 clients, Kobe and Michael Jordan. All right, he built his whole career and name off 2 guys. Michael Jordan ain't played in 20 years. Kobe been dead for 4 years. He got a whole career just off those 2 guys. But those 2 guys were very great players, but they still had a trainer. Everybody got it? Everybody understanding this? Floyd Mayweather, great boxer, had a trainer. Bunch of trainers. Anybody else got a question? Transaction transforms. That's right. Good point. So again, DM me the word mastermind. You want to get more information on working with me directly in the mastermind? And he said, I like that concept you came up with. Thank you. I like that concept too. So shout out to everybody who likes that working with your game concept. All right, everybody. We are about to wrap this up. I went longer than I expected to, but I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit longer live streams in the future. We will see. But if you haven't texted me yet, make sure you text me at this number. I'll put my number here in the chat. If you haven't texted me, my daily motivation text I send out every day from my number 305-384-6894. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. That's the place where I do all my coaching. There's a link in my bio here on Instagram or down in the description if you're watching this on YouTube or some other platform. Send me a DM or leave a comment with the word mastermind. We'll hit you up and tell you more about getting involved in our mastermind. And that's it, everybody. Have a great Friday. Work on your game.